Take two. All right.
Welcome to Tattool time. I'm your host, Chuck.
And I'm your host, Nate. That was fantastic, Chuck. I love it. Thank you for tuning in, guys. We are here at Dark Pearl Tattoo in Rochester, New York.
This is our first podcast. We're going to give this a shot. We'll tell you about all that in a little bit. But we have some fun ideas to talk about.
Absolutely.
You're going to get to know us. Basically, you're going to get to know us.
Yes.
We're going to chat a little bit, and we'll see what happens.
Yeah, it's going to be fun. Please bear with us. You know, this is the start of a brand new expedition for us, a brand new opportunity. And yeah, we're excited about it. We're excited to
We've been working really hard in the background. We've had a lot of fun. We've been having very interesting chats lately.
Yeah. Definitely
And
up their conversation game.
Yes, for sure. We want to kind of just let you in on a little bit of us and show you what we do, tattooing, who we are, and hopefully you guys enjoy it. So welcome to the show, and
thank you for listening this long.
So if you're still with us, Nate, how you? Again, how was your week this week?
It's good. It's good. I had a really good week. Got to do a lot of really cool work. Hung out, caught up with some buddies last night. It was great. It was a really good week, actually.
Nice.
How about you?
I had a great week. I've had a really good week. I've been working on this, a little nervous, getting through all the anxieties of being on camera.
For sure.
Just from practice, I have been trying to control my hands and keep them down. So, so you guys might see me like chain myself down later. I don't know. We'll find out.
He'll be chained down in like a PG way though, so it's fine.
Yeah. Still an 18 and over show, though, right? You just said that.
Well, yeah, that's true. Okay. Well, I think that's enough of that. What are we doing here? Why are we here? Why are we on YouTube? Why are two 40-plus-year-old guys jumping onto your TV screen, your cell phones, and just blasting your ears with our life stories and stuff? And it's just because we are trying to change with our industry. Our industry is changed a lot in the past, probably 2 years.
Oh gosh, wait, no.
Well, it's always changing, but I think it's been a hard shift in the past couple of years.
I mean, I think COVID did a lot to the industry. It changed it in several ways, and I don't want to go. That's a different day. That's a different conversation. But
absolutely.
But that changed. But I would say this industry has greatly changed over the past 15. Being in it for 20 years myself.
Right.
I have watched the industry grow and change to like we don't even use the same. 90% of the artists don't even use the same machines that used to be used to be a tattoo standard. Like so, again, different conversation. Stay tuned. But there's so much of that, and that's what I want to talk about here. I want to share the experiences that I've had over those 20 years and give you the stories. Nate's going to ask me a bunch of questions about these things and help me remember all this stuff.
It's going to be cool too, because we have, even though we're both the same age, we have known each other damn near our whole lives. But we have very different perspectives on this. Chuck's been doing this for 20 plus years now.
20 years.
Yeah. And I've only been at it for like 4.5, 5 years. I started late. Chuck mentored me. So it's going to be really cool to see different perspectives of things that we have. So I know, like he said, that he's seen the industry change in the past, 15 years really hard. I've seen it myself change since I jumped in 2021. COVID definitely changed things. I mean, I've been a part and around the industry for a long time, but so we're here doing this because the marketing aspect has changed, and it seems like
you want to get to know us.
Everyone wants to know who we are as people. And I think that's important. I think we're coming to a new place where like that kind of is important. You should know your tattoo artist, and you should like because we are connecting with people in a very unusual way,
Yeah.
right?
Oh, it's a close knit job. I mean,
Yeah,
people, joke that it's why pay for therapy? Go to get a tattoo. It's the same price and way cooler.
yeah,
Um, that'll be a topic one day, right?
yeah. It's a
Like,
good one. Yeah,
I'm not your therapist, but I can't tell you the advice I've given to people over the years. Why they took it, that's
yeah.
that's on them.
That's
Um,
very emotional. Not
um,
professionals. Yeah, no, I think like the way we mark people for life and the things that we help them through, and it's like, yeah, these are really cool designs, these are really cool forms of self-expression, but the amount of people now that like this helps overcome something or change who they are, it's it's really cool. And I don't like to get too much into like the woo of a pit, but I've heard people describe this as like a I don't want to say religious experience, but they're like we're almost like a shaman in like a way where there is a certain spiritual aspect to this. A
I
bit
guess for some,
for some.
for
For some people, it's
some,
totally cool.
I
But for
don't.
some people, I mean, how many people have you had like on the other
No,
side of this?
I help people along. I find myself adaptable to my clients. Like I try to give them the best possible
Sure.
experience in my chair. That's my goal every time. Um, Whether that be they need some extra support in this way. Some people do look at things very spiritually and they want, so I try to give them as close to what I can offer them as I can, but yet still do what I need to do the right way.
Right.
Um, uh, and you're right. I mean, there are those people, but I don't know. I that's
Well, just very different types of clients, and that's what
yes,
we deal with. All
all
a
the time.
whole spectrum of
Oh,
clients.
every type of client. I mean, everyone is welcome at the tattoo shop. I
Yeah.
think that's every per. That's why we have that rule. Like
Yeah.
no politics, no religion. Like
Yeah.
not here in the shop. Like just it's you're just here to get a banging piece.
Right.
Like that's what we want to do for you. Like um,
Yeah. Have a good time.
yeah,
Get
have
a
a good time.
phenomenal
Yeah,
tattoo.
and leave happy. Like
Yeah.
and everyone's welcome. That's you break those. You go too far, this, that, and the other in one way or another, you're just not welcome. Like
Yeah.
but otherwise, like everyone's welcome. This is the safe zone. That's how it was taught to me back when I was first learning
Well, that's a great
20
segue because I
plus
was going to ask
20 plus years ago.
what
The
was it
tattoo
like
was a
then?
safe zone, like for everyone. Before there were, anyone could go to the tattoo shop. Anybody. It didn't care what your creed was, what your anything was. If you were cool and you wanted a tattoo, like we loved having you.
Right.
Like, and that was as simple as that. Like, um,
The shop that you started in, was it just like the old school, like come in and pick something off the wall, or were you past that at
oh
that point?
no, no, it was. I will. I learned. It was a custom-ish shop. Um,
Okay.
uh, the guy taught me how to tattoo very, very well, and I'm not gonna. uh, He was a better teacher. He was a better teacher.
Yeah.
And I won't speak ill.
Sure.
Um, uh, I got my start there. I did my job. Like, I had to go my own way after a while there. And
It's part of
uh,
the process,
it
and it
is
definitely was back then.
absolutely. But being in Rochester was different. Like until I
Right.
went to LA, once we get to the LA stuff and I tell you about all that,
Yeah.
like, and we talk about all that, like, um, it's it'll be easier to explain that kind of stuff, like
Sure.
the leaving and the going, the comings and the goings, and learning from this and that. But this was the first one, right? And like, it's where you get your start. Like, so you're always
Yeah.
nervous, like, and uh, but he taught me very well. It was, but we're also talking way before iPads and digital
Right.
drawing and anything like that. So I mean, everything was just covered in tracing paper and and like various coloring books and stuff that we would download and this, that, and the other and like print out and like, there was
Right.
so much, it was so different. Like the
Sure.
process was a very long process to get your tattoo ready, to do sleeves, to do that stuff. It was a very different process.
Yeah.
And
No,
now
I
what
can
we can
only imagine.
accomplish in a session on, an all weekend session at a convention now, and these big guys are putting out entire leg sleeves in a weekend.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just
Yeah. No,
impressive. Like,
that's
but
dope.
the technology has gotten us to be able to do that stuff now. Like, and so technology has grown. The industry has changed dramatically. Um, and the way that we're seen is all over the place. I feel like, like there
Yeah.
is a very high end, like, and there's that, and I think that's what, I'm always shooting for, is just to give that high end experience to everybody. Um, there's different degrees, and we'll get into all that stuff over
We
the.
will. So what was your main form of marketing when you got started? Since this is pretty much like what we're talking about today.
Okay, so when I got started, it was, I mean, my God, I spent a lot of times at bars. I
Oh
spent
man.
so much time at the bar, handing out cards, meeting people. I mean, but like anywhere I went, I mean, I was printing out before, this was even like Vistaprint wasn't even really like a thing yet. Like you had to like get
Right.
cards made at FedEx and like and that was daunting. Like for a kid, for a
Oh,
younger,
absolutely.
it was a whole daunting process to get business cards made. I mean, to stay a
Yeah.
business and like I was just getting started, and he either wanted me to hand out the shop card that was like, and then he'd just take what he wanted or whatever, like, and or so I started printing out my own cards, like, and just like I went and got the stock, and I just print them out at home on the printer,
Right. Right.
and then I just went to bars and handed my card out, and anywhere I went, I was at a restaurant like McDonald's, like Taco Bell, anything I bought, you had a card, like you
Right.
had a card in your hand. I would talk to you about tattoos all day long. Like, I mean, like when you're first like getting going, like there wasn't anybody that the word tattoo did not come out of my mouth.
Yeah.
Flash forward 20 years, if I'm out with you at the bar, please, I am not a tattoo artist.
Yeah. No, it's funny. It's funny now, especially, and I wonder how much of that is an older thing versus like a younger person thing. Because at very first, when I was like getting on skin and doing that, I was doing that. But even then, like being in my 40s, I still need some sort of a work life balance. And I like this is an all consuming career. That's fine. I fucking love this job. Absolutely love what it's done for me. Absolutely love my life because of it. But at the same time, yeah, no, being the age that I'm at, if we're going out to dinner, we're going out, like I just want to relax and have a good time with the people that I'm with. And like if it comes up, okay, sure, that's cool. Feel free to come up to me if you have questions about a tattoo or something like that. But at the same time, it is nice just to be able to go out and have fun and not have to feel like you're always selling and always being on, right?
Well, yeah, it's gotten to that, and I'm sure, I'm like you said, with age comes wisdom and that,
Right.
and all that. I'm in my early 20s, like,
Sure.
I mean, and I sold myself like a $3 hooker, like,
Yeah.
like, and I wanted, and that was also the thing. I wanted to tattoo like crazy, like,
Yeah.
I would drop at a hat to do a tattoo. Um, you know, it's been a journey, and I've finally been able to, now have a fair schedule, a fair life, and have that work life balance, which
Yeah.
is, um, and it's important. I mean, like, I do feel,
Oh, yeah.
because this job has overwhelmed me so many times. Like,
Yeah.
I have lost. not lost, but I guess that's just the word I can use. Friends,
Hmm.
close people to me, relationships, things that like I've given to this job. I have
Yeah.
given friendships, relationships to this job. I think that's a better term. I've given that
Oh, absolutely.
to this job. It's it will always be my passion. This is my kid. Like tattooing's my kid. Um, and
So when you went out to Hollywood after you had been, cut your teeth here, established yourself, what
I
was
did 3 years here.
okay? So you did 3 years here. You went to Hollywood. Did you have to advertise much out there? Was it still as much of like the handing out cards and
So
the hustle?
so I think that's where it start like the slow beginning of like not feeling like that. But
Okay.
no, I didn't. Not really. I still did when I first got out there.
Right.
But that trickled away so quickly because I was on Hollywood Boulevard. So when I moved out to Hollywood, California, I got we got me and Eric both got the job with a guy on Hollywood Boulevard. He owned 4 shops on the boulevard. His business partner owned another 3 shops, and then another guy owned 2. But they were like a family or group, so they kind of owned the whole
Right.
boulevard of shops, and you were kind of sent to who you would work under the best. Um, and so it was a conglomerate almost of
Right.
tattoo shops, um, and what was really cool about it though was like the shop that I started in um, out there. Let me get it back on topic. We'll get back to that. I will say that like I didn't have to hand out cards because the tourism was so hot. It
Okay.
was, and this was coming to like this was the beginning of the end of like how the tattoo industry worked in California, and all
Okay.
like at least along Hollywood Boulevard. What I watched happen
Right.
over those years, and that's all I can attest to is what I watched and what I've
Sure.
seen.
Sure. Absolutely.
I still have some friends and
Right.
and
Right.
stuff that
Right.
like I've seen what they're working and what they're doing now, and but they but it was so much foot traffic. Those where here I had to like do that footwork. The
Right.
feet were walking in
Just
to the shop.
automatically.
Those Me and Eric were terrified. We didn't have much money. We did that. We went out to Hollywood. By the time we got there, we had just enough for the apartment, 1 month of the apartment, and they uh and enough for like we each had like by the time we paid for everything and got into the place, me and him both had $100 left. He went and bought a bed. I
Right.
went and bought a weed card. Um, I can sleep anywhere on weed. But but um, so we were broke, and but
Right.
we had the apartment for the month, and we were trying it out. We were gonna do it. So we started, and the first day I made like $275. He made 250. The next day it was like reversed. Like
Right.
as soon as we started, it was like boom, 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 and we were just like, and then it just there was and we were getting more people. Obviously, we were new too, so
Right.
like, but it was people walked in, you sold them a tattoo. It was like a used car lot, like it was like a
Right.
used car
Right.
lot, like dudes with sunglasses just sitting out front. You need a tattoo, like.
That's cool.
It was
People
different.
up front. Yeah.
Yeah, it was different. Like we'd just be standing on the wall. Like,
How does that like? So that's interesting because then like you go from like having to like grind and do your own thing to just like, oh, I don't know, not be handed everything, but like kind of like you're handed your customers, right? They're just walking and they're go go go. How does that transition into like what's it like when you leave that environment and come back to Rochester? What's your marketing like then at that point? Just back to the same
so
old?
so when I moved, I came home often enough to see family and all that, and and those little bits of clientele that I had, left over from the 3 years, they blossomed into, when people waiting for me to come home. So
Right.
by the time I came home, I was never worried. I learned so much out in LA. I really cut my teeth in LA. And
Right.
like I learned all of the West Coast like style, like, and techniques and different like, stuff going on with that. Um and I mean there's some just amazing artists out there. I mean
Oh yeah, yeah,
some of the
for
black
sure.
and gray, West Coast black and
Yeah.
gray that comes out. Like, I mean, there's guys, um, I'll start name dropping later. We'll just doing friendly stories now.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But there's some guys out there that are just amazing, and
Yeah.
um, so I learned, I would watch. I came from a shop whose, his custom lettering was pick a font on the computer, and then I go out to LA and I'm getting schooled by these guys that are just like
Right.
just doing the beautiful fancy writing out names in like, a minute and a half, like, hey, you want like something like this, and it's
Right.
just gorgeous, and then they script that out, and like, so I'd be over their shoulder, like, okay, what are you
Sure.
doing? Like, what are you doing? Every chance I had, I tried to pick something up and pick something up that I didn't learn here. What I did go out there with was what I got taught really, really well and handed was line work. Line work was my, like, the guy beat it into me, and
And you beat it into me.
and I will beat it into anybody I choose. Um, it was good. It was good for me. You know, uh, and I thank him for that because it really set my world on the
Yeah.
right track for tattooing. And but I got to learn all these other skills, and like especially that black and gray technique. The guy I learned under was more of a color artist, um, and he just didn't have those right things. So, um, but yeah,
Yeah. So the past few years, or just since COVID, like, and that's the kind of like the why are we on YouTube thing. Like, this whole marketing shift has been really kind of wild. Just wild to see how much it went from like do a good tattoo, post a picture on your Facebook or your Instagram, and like people will, that's good enough. People will come to you based off of doing that, and then now we have to like, we're
well,
not.
I don't. Okay, don't use half. I don't think you should use the word half. I know where you're going. I won't finish that because it's not about having to. It's just not enough to do
Yeah.
a great tattoo anymore.
Right.
Like, it's
Perfect.
just not
Yes.
enough to do a great tattoo anymore. And I've never been one for the camera.
No,
Uh,
me neither.
I think myself funny at times. I've often thought about comedy. Like, um,
Avoided the camera for so many years.
but I also, this wasn't really me.
No, me neither. I
I
mean,
got offered a few like chances uh, to do some television while I was out in California that I turned down. I didn't really ever want to do this in a
no.
sense, but
Sure.
to wrap it up, I think that what we were talking about earlier, if nothing else comes out of this, it is going to be a beautiful chronicle of like
Yeah.
our story, my story, what you've gone through,
Yep.
a
And
little bit of an adventure, a way to show
huge adventure.
a little bit of an
Yeah.
adventure, and watch us grow. Whether that's good or bad, we'll see what happens.
Yeah. Yeah.
Uh, and and yes, the industry has changed. We're going to talk about all those little things, but the marketing part of it is, at least if we get some eyeballs on it and tell you our story, hopefully you guys can get a little insight that's I feel is real. I would like to put out
Yeah.
something that feels
Real.
real.
Yeah.
we're not gonna be making like, I mean, maybe down the line, okay, you get a funny video from us.
Yeah, but it'll
it's
be
Tattool time. We're gonna try something weird.
At some point for sure. But we're not gonna be doing dances.
I mean,
Maybe
might be dances.
All right, fine. I'm not gonna.
Let's say
Okay, fine.
dances.
I won't.
Okay.
I won't.
I'll bring the stripper pole in. I have it.
Oh boy. Okay, that's all you.
Come on, I want to see you swing.
I don't bend like that anymore.
Huh? You can just do one of these like long things, you know, like
just the long thing. Okay,
yeah.
I might be down. I might be good for that.
Yeah.
I might be good.
Maybe
for
the
that.
legs, you know, like you just get up there and then like swing down.
Up
like,
there.
Yeah, like get the legs up and then
My legs don't
down.
do that anymore.
I'll bet you they could.
maybe
We
if I warm up for a week.
I mean, I know it's not a green screen, but it's a basic thing. So like, we could probably overlay.
Yeah, I'll get a body double.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, body double.
Body double.
I'm in. Okay.
Body double for the dancing and the skits. But like, there's a lot of other people doing the skits and things like that. And if we feel the urge to do something, we'll do it. But otherwise, like, I want something to be more genuine.
Yeah,
genuine.
This fireside chat, kind of an idea that we, you know, have been talking about, and truly, we want to thank you guys for checking this out.
Yes, thank you everybody who's made it this far.
Yeah, if you're still with us,
yes, thank you so
much.
My
God, please give it a like.
Like and subscribe. Guys. That stuff happens. I mean, we're going to be the same as everybody else, and just asking you to like and subscribe. Because those things matter.
You know, give it a shot. And thank you so much for being here with us. You guys have a great night, and we'll see you again in a couple weeks.
Yeah, thanks again for tuning in, everybody. We appreciate everyone that's watched this. Again, please like and subscribe. And yeah, we're shooting for an every other week upload. So
yeah, kind of bi-monthly. Yeah.
Turn the notifications on if you were into it. And otherwise, we'll see you in the next one. Have a great night, everybody.